Hey, what's up YouTube? This is John Rambo. Today I'm doing a video called 5 Guns Every Prepper Should Own. Now, Iraqi Freedom 8888 did a video back in 2012 called 5 Firearms Every American Should Own. And they chose just about everything that I did except for the bolt action, and I'll explain why. I'll link that video down below, so if you want to go there and kind of cross-reference or whatever. But I'll explain to you why I think they messed up on the bolt action. But anyway, now these first 3 firearms I'm going to show you. If I were the leader of a prepper group or mutual assistance group, whatever you want to call it, the first 3 firearms would probably be, I would require everyone on these, and I'll get that now. Very first one, the AR-15 and 5.56 or 223, and I would, the reason I'm going to go over these first 3 is mostly the logistics. If anybody in the military, this is what logistics is what we think about. Availability of magazines, availability of the ammo, common caliber, spare parts for the rifle. That's why I choose the AR-15. The magazines are cheap, they're available, parts are cheap, available. It's a modern platform, so it's very easy to mount scopes on. So another reason I would choose 5.56 or 223 is because you can buy a CMMG conversion kit. There are other conversion kits out there now. It simply replaces your bolt and your magazine, and then you can fire 22 long rifle. The next one I would require is a Glock double stack 9mm. I don't care if it's a Glock 17, Glock 19, or Glock 34. I would require a Glock double stack 9mm. Again, the same as AR-15. Magazines are cheap, available. Parts are easily available. It's a basic handgun, but logistic-wise, it makes sense. 9mm makes sense. Easy to get. Walk in Walmart, go out with a couple hundred easily. The third, Ruger 1022 with some BX-25 magazines. The reason I would require this is for either, when we talk about preppers, preppers usually have wives and children, and a wife or children could easily use a Ruger 1022 rifle. Now these next 2 firearms, this next one, I'm going to talk about the 12 gauge. Now mine is actually a Remington 1100, and what I'm getting ready to recommend is not a Remington 1100. What I recommend is a pump Mossberg 500, or the Maverick 88, I think is actually built by Mossberg, or the Remington 870. I would, like I say, the 12 gauge is going to vary some, but you need to be able to hunt with it. So I would recommend the, Mossberg 500. You can get them for about 200, 250, or the Model 88. The 870 is a little higher end shotgun, but they're good, they're reliable. The spare parts are out there. But no, the reason I actually don't have a Mossberg 500 or the 870, but it's really not high on my priority list to get, but I'll probably end up with them just because I think you should own one. If you do need, when it comes to 12 gauge, for some people who are recoil sensitive, 12 gauge they may consider too much. A semi-auto works well as far as dampening recoil. So if you want a 12 gauge but can't take the recoil, you may think about getting a semi-auto, but make sure, you may want to buy some spare rings. Get one that get one that's going to last a long time. I've had this in about 19 years. But like I say, it's actually not on my top 5 list. Some people may want the 20 gauge. My feeling about the 12 gauge is highly versatile. There's lots and lots of different types of shells you can get for a 12 gauge that you can't get for a 20. So I recommend, like I say, a good pump 12 gauge. Okay, now this is where I think our Iraqi veteran, or what's his name, Eric, I think it's where he messed up. He recommended people using a Mosin Nagant. I don't recommend a Mosin Nagant simply because it's not very accurate and it's not friendly to put a scope on. So there's a lot more modern options, and I don't recommend the sniper rifle because most of you probably can't use a sniper. I mean, you're not trained well enough to fire a bolt action rifle out to 1,000 yards, so it's really not of much use. What I will recommend is just a standard bolt action hunting rifle. This is a Remington 700. As far as caliber, you know, there's a lot of good bolt actions out there, but when it comes to caliber, this is where I'm going to, you know, you could get a 308 or the military 7.62 by 51, but this is something, when it goes back to logistics, you know, in the ammo crisis, 308 is going to disappear off the shelf. Really, same as the 223 and 9mm, and well, as you know, the 22, that's been off the Walmart shelf for a long time. But what I'm going to recommend, there's lots of different hunting cartridges. I'm not going to recommend the Magnum cartridges like the 7mm Magnum or 300 Magnum. They're just not necessary. So, like when I talk of logistics, I would actually recommend you going to your local Walmart and seeing what they have the most of. You know, during the hunting season, my Walmart they have more than anything. They have 270 Winchester and they have 30-06. I'm going to throw 243 in also as a recommended cartridge. Now, if you want to fire a longer range, you need better trajectory. Therefore, the 243 and 270 would probably be my top picks if you're figuring on needing to shoot 400 yards or something. But you know, it was good training. You know, you could fire a 30-06 that far with the good. You know, you just got to get out there and practice and have a good scope. This is a Nikon Buckmaster. It's got a BDC, bullet drop compensated reticle in it. I've had this rifle for about 21 years probably, and it's been my main deer rifle for a long time. Like I say, it's not a bull barrel, but anyway, and your bolt action, you know, is going to take care of your big game needs and your semi-sniping needs out to about 400 meters. So yeah, those are my top 5 picks for firearms every prepper should own. This is John Ringo. I'm out.